realistically, it was to that point where, you know, I talk to friends and family now, and you know, they say if they got a phone call, I'm trying not to get emotional. If they got a phone call one morning that they wouldn't have been surprised that I passed away, man.
So as you saw from that little clip there off the top, this is a special one. This is a special one. Number one, because Caz opened up in a big way. This is a conversation that's deep and powerful and at times emotional. And secondly, this is one of your classic in-person hotel room interviews. The first one I've done in over a year. I'm actually wearing pants in this interview because who knows what I'm wearing, you know, during those Zoom interviews. I'm not just wearing any pants. I'm wearing RevTown jeans, which are the most comfortable jeans on the planet. I'm actually wearing that same pair of RevTown jeans right now. And if you follow me on Instagram, you saw me wearing them in this photo here from my trip to Mammoth Mountain. RevTown was kind enough to sponsor this video, so a big thank you to them for that. Now, they're the most comfortable jeans probably because the company was founded by two Under Armour execs who decided to blaze their own trail and address the biggest problem with denim, which is mobility, moving around in them. In RevTown's book, 3 things make great jeans: comfort, function, and durability. That's why their decade denim jeans are made with proprietary Italian denim that's tough as nails, but still mobile. And because RevTown deals directly with their customers, they can sell you their designer quality jeans at a fraction of the price of those other fashion brands. They've got a bunch of different washers to choose from, and they have inseams starting at 28 inches. So these are gonna fit you perfectly no matter if you're my size or your big Caz's size. Guys, definitely do yourself a favor. Click on the link in the description box or go to revtownusa.com/CVV and get yourself a pair of these super affordable jeans. And you'll find out why people say that these are the most comfortable jeans on the planet. Now let's get to this chat with Big Caz.
You look good, man.
Thank you very much.
You look really good.
You look good. You look fantastic.
Oh, wow. What is this turning into?
I don't know, man. Putting each other over right now.
It's so good to see you.
Oh, thank you very much.
And good to see you back in a wrestling ring as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been took about 18 months off.
Yeah.
But it was a long journey back. I had to take care of some other things first, but I wanted to get back into wrestling. It was my first love, and here I am.
How does it feel being back?
It feels amazing. You know, there was a point in time there when I thought, I don't want to go back to wrestling. I almost hated it or resented it so bad. And, man, about 4 months ago, I woke up and I was like, I realized that was the first thing I fell in love with, man. I was like, you want to do what you love in life. You want to do what you're passionate about, or, you know, you're not going to be happy. And so I was like, I am passionate about wrestling. I have to admit that first. And then I started my journey back to getting in the ring.
So where did that journey into getting back into the ring, where did that begin?
Man, it started with little things like listening to something to wrestle with or listening to some wrestling podcasts. And because I hadn't done that in like well over a year. So I started with that. Then I was watching old WWE pay-per-views. And then I started watching some old Ring of Honor stuff. And eventually it was kind of consumed me a little bit. The gym was always a big part of my recovery because it helps me mentally. But yeah, when I decided to go back to wrestling, I got really serious. I was doing 2-a-days, cardio in the morning, and then I'd lift later in the day, and dieting like crazy. And yeah, because if I'm going to come back, I'm going to come back in the best shape of my life.
And you are. I mean, you're in phenomenal shape.
Appreciate it, yeah.
Yeah, you look great.
Thank you, yeah.
So up until before 4 months ago, were you completely done with wrestling?
Yeah, I think so. I was kind of just looking. I was thinking about going back to school to get my master's degree in social work because I'm very passionate about recovery and I want to help people. And that was an option to go back and get my master's degree in social work so then I can help other addicts and help people in recovery. Yeah, and I was kind of just looking at different paths in my life. And, yeah, I told myself I wasn't going to go back to wrestling. And, yeah, here I am. I just, yeah, I don't know. It's, I guess it was resentment or just I really hated it, like I said, for a little while. And I didn't want to do anything, have be anywhere near it.
Well, the thing is, it didn't end on your terms. And now it can.
Yeah.
Now it can begin and end on your terms.
Yeah, and it didn't end on my terms, and I guess I make excuses like, you blame everybody else but yourself, especially before you get into recovery. And I didn't want to associate with old friends. I didn't want to associate with old coworkers. I didn't want anything to do with wrestling.
Yeah.
And I guess you just say it was just chalked it up to a resentment, and then reality hit, and I was like, I really love this.
Yeah.
I want to go back.
Did you expect the response that you got after you debuted or re-debuted?
No, I didn't. I was speaking to Gallows, and he reached out, and he told me to come to his house in December, I believe it was, and I went to his house, and he saw how good I was doing, how healthy I was, and how positive I was. And he said, let me get you on a show. So then I believe he booked me on the February show, but the whole week or even 2 weeks prior, and even the day of, I was super nervous. Like, what if people don't pop? I said, what if people don't react?
Yeah.
And he just kept saying, trust me, man, they're gonna react. And I said, I don't know, man, it's been a long time. And he said, just trust me.
So take me behind the curtain that night. Your music's about to hit. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You don't know what the reaction's going to be. So what's going through your mind at that point?
Super nervous. What I did in the match was pretty easy, so we kept it that way on purpose. So I wasn't nervous about that. I was nervous about the reaction. Are people going to cheer? Are they going to boo, which is better than just being indifferent? But the biggest one, I was like, if they just don't even recognize me and they're like, who's this guy? That would have been awful.
Obviously, that's not going to be the case, though.
Right.
You weren't gone that long.
Yeah, I wasn't gone that long, and I think especially wrestlers, we get a little self-conscious sometimes. And I guess I, in my head, made it seem worse than it was and longer than it was. But yeah, now that you say that, like looking back, it really wasn't that long of a time.
I mean, it probably felt like an eternity for you.
It did, yeah, because the last time I wrestled, I was a different person the last time I even stepped inside of a wrestling ring, and so unhealthy mentally and physically, and it just seemed like I'd gone through so much to get to where I was. Yeah, it seemed like an eternity ago.
Where were you at mentally the last time we saw you in a ring?
Doing what I did best, pretending that I was happy and pretending that I was doing real well and being positive and putting on a mask all day, and especially in front of the boys, and pretending that I was doing great when I wasn't. I was really struggling on the inside, and that's something that I used to do real well. It was pretend that I was doing great and be positive, but man, I was not. It was very dark on the inside.
Did you know at that point that you had a problem?
I knew. A lot of people would tell me I had a problem, but I think I was so delusional. Even after I had that first seizure in Philadelphia at the House of Hardcore show, I still didn't think I had a problem. Like the next day, I thought, yeah, you have a problem, and then 2 days later, I was like, nah, you could drink again. And I guess it just after that, the rest of that year, and then all the incidents that happened, and then finally when I went to rehab, is when I finally admitted, like, you have a serious problem.
Was it you that went, okay, I need to go to rehab? Or was it people around you?
It was people around me. And that was the reason why the rehab didn't work the first time. Because when you're doing it to appease other people and make them happy and make them see you in a more positive light, that is just not the right intention. It's going into it for the wrong reasons. Now, a lot of people do go in for the wrong reasons and stay for the correct ones. I unfortunately wasn't one of those people, so I went in for the wrong reasons, and I relapsed pretty immediately after I got out of rehab the first time.
Like, how quickly are we talking?
Hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was this a conscious thing where you're like, I know I shouldn't be doing this?
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, it's man, it's kind of I conditioned my brain to alcohol to such a point. Was mentally obsessed with it. So even when I was in rehab and I'd pass a liquor store or something, my brain would like light up, and it would probably, I don't know what the chemical, maybe dopamine or serotonin, something would shoot off, in my brain just seeing the liquor store. So deep down, I knew I was not going to stay sober. I pretended like I was, and I lied to myself like, yeah, you're going to really do this. No, deep down, I knew that I was not going to the first time.
And then where did you think your path was going to lead you to from there?
I thought I was gonna be able to do what I was always doing, which is pretending at the right times and, suffering in silence on my own and fooling people into thinking I was doing great. But you can only fool people for so long because the problem is you're fooling yourself. So I was really just lying to myself, fooling myself all the time. And I thought I was going to be able to pull this off the rest of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
When we look back at that video of the seizure, the infamous video,
Yeah.
have you watched it?
No.
Would you watch it?
Not in the right frame of mind, maybe. Yeah.
Do you remember that night?
I remember a little bit of that. I remember doing the signing. I remember I went to lunch with Gangrel. I remember talking with Bubba and Tommy in the locker room and going over my promo with Tommy Dreamer and really being into it. And then I was supposed to be on right after intermission. But I had to go sign at intermission. So I remember putting my water bottle, which I would just dump on my head, and my comb right by the table, the gorilla table or whatever, the curtain in that arena. And that's the last thing I remember, because right after that, I must have walked out to the merch table. I don't remember anything except being loaded into an ambulance.
What? That's the next thing you remember?
Yeah.
Wow. And then you're in the hospital, and then what are they telling you?
I did what I did best, man. I lied.
Wow.
Yeah, I tried to come up with some bullshit. I don't know if we can use profanity.
Sure,
Some bullshit to the hospital about maybe I'm dehydrated, I haven't been sleeping enough. It was exhaustion. But I knew it was alcohol withdrawal, and I was too embarrassed to admit that to anybody. So I just, it was something else. But there were a few of the boys there that night that I'm not going to mention that texted me the next day, and they said, "Hey man, you had a huge bottle of liquor in your bag, and you weren't drinking that entire day. Like, I think it was alcohol withdrawal." So some people knew, but I was super embarrassed.
So basically, you left the hospital, and then you needed to drink again.
Yeah.
Was this a daily thing for you?
Every day, sun up to sundown.
No way.
Sun up to sundown.
And does this date as far back as your time in WWE?
No. I think when I was with WWE, I had responsibility.
Sure.
I had to get on a plane every Saturday and do house shows and then do TV. Once that responsibility went away, I had an apartment to live in. I had money in the bank. I had a car. I had everything I needed.
Yeah.
I had no motivation to do anything.
Yeah.
So I just drank all day.
That was after your WWE release?
Yeah.
So would that be the catalyst for what started this?
I think I had a problem way before.
Yeah.
But
I mean, everybody has a relationship with alcohol.
Yeah.
Some people are just, able to have a few drinks and then that's it for their night.
Yeah, I think that it gave me the opportunity. It gave me the unfortunate opportunity to live with no responsibilities, which is a horrible thing for an addict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was obviously you were drinking during your time in WWE. Mm-hmm. When did it start to go downhill?
Probably like 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. It was again, you're wearing a mask, you're hiding, and you're making everybody think, you drink in your room and you make sure nobody sees you. And, about in 2017. And there was just so many things going on mentally, and I was really struggling, and I didn't want to say anything because it shouldn't be embarrassing, but I was embarrassed and humiliated. Yeah. And I guess there's a stigma around mental health, which is, toughen up, especially in, athletics or wrestling or any kind of tough person business. It was, so you just tell yourself, oh, just toughen up, but that's the wrong way to go about things.
But I'd also have to think you're at the top of your career at that point. Like, things are going really, really well for you in WWE.
Yeah.
You don't want that to be taken away from you either. So I think maybe you're thinking, if I tell someone I have a problem, all of this gets taken away.
Yeah, which is an unreasonable thing because people understand. But I guess you don't want to say anything. Your career, your personal life, and you love putting out that image even to those closest to you that you're fine.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be weak. So, you're playing a part all day when you're around people.
Yeah.
It's an act.
Yeah. Did you know that a WWE release would be imminent?
Yeah, I had a feeling. I was really acting out and really making a lot of mistakes in fairly short amount of time, and I definitely expected it. That's for sure.
Like you had a big match at the pay-per-view that weekend.
Money in the Bank. Yeah.
Yeah. And then 2 days later, you're released without them wishing you well in your future endeavors, too.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but I do. I remember the day that I was fired. It was a meeting with Vince, and me and him and Carano were in there for quite a while, and we had a really good conversation. And it was more of a conversation about the performance was maybe touched upon for a minute in terms of, who Big Cass. That whole conversation was mostly about William Morrissey. And I don't know why the future endeavors wasn't. I don't know. I don't look into that, but I thought it was, I thought it was amicable when I left that building that day.
Do you feel like the door is still open at WWE?
I do. I think with time and earning, people's trust, just as I earn my family's trust and friends' trust, it's people have to see you doing well over a certain period of time to when they say, oh, this isn't the act. It's a new person.
I'd have to think it begins with winning the fans over.
Yeah, for sure.
And that has started.
Yeah, and like I said, I wasn't even sure that was going to be the case. And I was so blown away at the positive response that it got on social media. And I guess I really shouldn't have been surprised because when I first went into rehab, Dallas had people who said fans can send fan mail and supportive mail to the DDPY Performance Center.
Yeah.
And he would ship them down to me to Tampa while I was in rehab, and they just kept coming. And I had so many envelopes filled with fan mail.
Wow.
Just people really supportive, man. And I will look back at that stuff now, and just it really brightens my spirits because people were behind me even from that get go. But like I said, self-conscious business, and you think they're not going to remember me. But I should have just always went back to those letters that people wrote me because there was so many of them, and I opened them, and I still go back and read them. If I ever, feel down on a certain day, I'll go back and read some of them.
Is there any specific letter or any specific line from any of them that stand out and makes you go, oh my God, maybe brings tears to your eyes?
Not that I could think of one specific line, but there's
just a lot of love.
So many people relating either themselves or a family member and saying this happened, or they could relate to the situation. And that's in that situation, I guess that's something you really need is someone to relate to you. You need to feel like you're not alone, not an outcast, and you need to feel like, okay, there's people out there who are suffering just like me.
Well, and I appreciate you opening up about this.
Yeah.
Because everybody deals with this on some sort of level, and they certainly know somebody who's dealing with it.
Yeah, and I think opening up took a huge weight off of me, but also I think just my point of view, this is my opinion. If I'm not talking about it, who am I helping?
Yeah.
If I'm going through this and I'm gaining, all this positive from, other people and getting their advice, if I'm not talking about it, and who am I helping? Because if nobody knows and no one can relate and say, oh, wow, like he's going through that, or wow, I'm going through the same thing, which a lot of people wrote about in the letters. And without me, I felt like it was a little bit selfish for me to keep that to myself.
Yeah.
As crazy as that sounds, because it is my personal life, but I just wanted people to be able to relate to me.
You probably have people coming up to you every day going, man, I'm 5 years sober, 10 years sober, 15 years sober, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
Like you had a giant line at WrestleCon today and yesterday.
Yeah.
I imagine there was a bunch of people in that line telling you that same thing.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people. There's one guy that I was there yesterday. He's 10 years sober, and it's there's so many people that you don't realize it, but they'll come up to you and they'll say like, appreciate what you're doing, like I'm proud of you, and I'm X amount of years sober and stuff like that.
So if you weren't ready for recovery the first time because other people were asking you to do this, what made you ready for the time now?
It became a matter of life and death.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I had a few more seizures after the The one in Philadelphia. After I went to rehab, I had a few more seizures
These
later
ones are
on.
in private?
Yeah, they were. Their family and my girlfriend and her family. It was awful. And it got to the point where I knew I was going to die. It was just a matter of, if I keep going down this path, I was going to die. And there was a point where maybe I didn't even care about that, but for some reason, call it divine inspiration, at this point in time, I did care. And I was like, you can't die. Like, you cannot. So you got to do something about this. I could have easily given up, but I don't know, some instinctual thing told me you got to keep going. And the hardest thing to do is to reach out for help.
And who'd you reach out to?
I reached out to people in my sober network, people that I was in rehab with, my roommate from rehab, people from my AA home group, and people that are in my recovery network, and they immediately helped me out, and I got on a plane to come back to Tampa to go to rehab.
And now Tampa's home for you.
Tampa is home. It was home for a while,
right?
Too. Yeah.
But you were living with Diamond Dallas Page for a while.
I was with him for on and off for a few months, but Tampa has been my home since 2017. But I was up in New Jersey and New York for a while also. I didn't know what I was. I had nothing. I was just all over the place, man.
How much did Diamond Dallas Page help out in this journey you've been on?
Well, he helped out a great deal. He was one of the first people to give me a platform and encourage me to share what I was going through.
Yeah.
Again, because if I didn't do that, then people can't relate to it. And I think that was a big first step. Was me, admitting I think I admitted it in a promo, like backstage after I wrestled Moxley. But the video that DDPY put out really got the word out about what I was going through.
Yeah. People think this is easy. Like, people think it's just like check into a program and magically you're fixed.
No, and people say things like, well, I don't understand why you just don't stop drinking. And I'm like, I never thought of that. That's some brilliant stuff right there.
That easy,
That's prophetic, man. Like, great life advice. Just stop. Oh, okay. Yeah, people do think it's just that easy. And to be honest with you, I'm ashamed to say this, but there was a point in time many years ago where I thought the same thing, where I didn't think I had a problem, and I just thought, yeah, it's just that easy. Why is that person struggling,
Yeah.
So I understand why some people think that, because I was one of those people many moons ago.
What was the breakthrough moment for you in recovery?
Breakthrough moment for me? Finally admitting that maybe I don't know everything. Admitting that I shouldn't be in control anymore. It's hard to give up control, but it's also hard for your ego to let you say you don't have all the answers. Yeah. And boy, did I think I had them all for a very long time, and I thought I was fooling everybody, and I'm going to figure this all out by myself. Everybody else can do that program stuff, and but I'm going to do it my way. And I woke up one morning and I came to the realization there is no my way. There's no option C in this thing.
Yeah.
There's no door number 3. It's either you got to do what everybody else is doing, reach out and ask them for help and do what they've done, or suffer the really, really horrible consequences. There's no other game plan.
And in this case, you're saying the horrible consequences would be not living anymore.
It's 100%. It's
Dude, that's so scary to think about.
I guess I say it so nonchalantly. Maybe it's a little bit of insecurity and embarrassment, but it was to that. Realistically, it was to that point where, I talk to friends and family now, and they say if they got a phone call, I'm trying not to get emotional. If they got a phone call one morning, that they wouldn't have been surprised that I passed away, man. So it got to that point, yeah.
But look where you're at now.
Yeah, man, it's fucking crazy.
Dude, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm trying not to cry here too now. Jeez.
Appreciate it, man.
No, and through Diamond Dallas Page, you've met your girlfriend, who's incredible.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's a hell of a gift. Yeah, his stepdaughter, Lexy Nair, she works with AEW now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I met her through Dallas, and
I don't know if people know you guys are together.
I don't think they do.
They do now.
Kind of kept it quiet, and I don't really love putting my personal life out there. But it's something that I've always tried to keep private. But yeah, I met her through Dallas. She was with me through almost this entire process.
Yeah.
She never gave up on me, and
I got you, man.
sorry,
It's
man.
tough.
It's super embarrassing, man.
It's not embarrassing at all. You should be really, really proud of yourself.
Yeah, she never gave up on me, man. She saw in me what I see now.
Yeah.
Because there was a long time there where I didn't see it at all. So,
What is it? What is it that she sees in you?
that when I'm at my best and I'm sober, that I can help make people's lives around me better. I can bring joy to people's lives. Instead of doing what I was doing in the past, which was just bringing misery to it. Like helping others is something that now I know is my mission in life, to help other people. Even if it's something as small as like opening the door for somebody at the grocery store. Yeah. You don't know what somebody's going through. They could have just been divorced. They could have a death in the family. And it could just take walking down the street past someone, how's your morning going? It could really brighten someone's. I start at the beginning of the day. I start that low, like it's something that simple. And she just saw that I was someone that could maybe help touch people's lives, and I sure as hell did not see that.
Yeah, even with just something like this conversation here.
Yeah,
you're touching so many people's lives.
I hope.
No, you are.
Yeah.
Now that you're back in the ring, now that you're in incredible shape, what are the goals that you have?
So for right now, man, I really like what I'm doing. I get to pick my schedule, work the shows I want to work, enjoy my time alone with my girlfriend. You know, Tampa's a great city, and we have 2 French bulldogs. So, you know, spending a lot of time with her, doing our thing.
What are the dogs' names?
So the dog she had prior to meeting me, his name is Hudson. He's 6, and then we consider him my dog, the puppy, but it's our dog. He's 9 months old. His name's Bam Bam, which is short for Bambino, which is a name that I always loved because of Babe Ruth. And I tried to make it like a nickname of mine when I was wrestling. It didn't stick, but yeah, Bam Bam, short for Bambino. So yeah, like I like the life I'm living, but yeah, man, like I said, wrestling's my first love. So ultimately, I want to get back to a big stage.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of things that I didn't accomplish in wrestling that I want to accomplish.
Yeah.
You know, and I've said this before, like Enzo and I, we had a good run, and we were very memorable. And I always want to be memorable. You know, being a champion to me isn't worth as much as being super memorable. People always say, well, you never won championships. Well, we were super memorable.
Yeah.
I want to be memorable as a singles star now. You know, that's something that I want. That's a goal of mine. And that's a goal that I want to prove to myself that I can do it, you know, because there was a long time I didn't think I could anymore. And I do want to prove that. And, you know, also, you know, keep speaking out about my story and addiction and mental health and help others, man, because that's the goal in life that I've learned in recovery, man. I had, you know, I still do, but I had money and fame and all this stuff, and that don't amount to shit, man. Don't mean anything. I get so much joy out of helping one person.
Yeah.
So that's the goal in life, is to just help other people.
Where has Enzo been these last few years for you?
Oh, tremendous. I was staying with him in New Jersey for a while. He was, you know, a big part of getting me to finally go to rehab. Man, there's so many things I want to touch, so many stories of where I was in a hotel room in this city or that city where, you know, I never came home from the road, and, you know, he'd have to fly out to come get me and drive me back home. So he's been tremendous, man, and he's been super supportive, and he's super supportive of me getting back to wrestling, whether it's with him or not. He's like, brother, do your thing, man.
Yeah.
I want to see you rise.
And you don't have to get into it, but I'm sure that you've put him through a lot.
For sure. I have put him through a lot, man. And but he's been there every step of the way. So I have an undying loyalty to that human that I'm very happy to have, and I know I'm very blessed to have it, because not many people ever experience that kind of friendship.
Yeah, well, I mean, what you guys had together in the ring and also out of the ring, the friendship that you have. I mean, just looking at you guys today, it's like, man, you guys love each other.
Yeah.
It's special, and that doesn't come around very often.
Right.
So whether you're back as a singles competitor with Enzo rooting you on behind the scenes, or you guys are back as a tag team, you're back.
Yeah, I am back, and I'm ready to accomplish a whole great deal of things and become a world champion somewhere. And, you know, I guess my goal is to go somewhere and become top dog.
Yeah.
Be the top guy in that company. And that is my goal. That's my professional goal right now. And I do truly believe that I can do it.
Well, AEW wasn't a thing when you were last signed with WWE.
Yeah.
It's now a thing.
Yeah.
What do you think about the chances of going to AEW?
I would love to go to AEW. I'd love to go back to WWE, go to AEW, go to Impact, go to New Japan, Ring of Honor. Whenever the time's right for me. But
Gallows and Anderson had some really nice things to say about you.
About
you and possibly going to AEW.
Yeah, and those conversations happen, and with them and other people, and it's something I would love to do. And we got to see when the timing's right. One day at a time is the way I take it.
Yeah,
I don't want to look too far into the future and set a unrealistic goal. I have to be this or do that by a certain time. One day at a time. And if a phone call comes tonight, that's great. If it doesn't come for another 3 months, 4 months, a year, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But I'm open to going anywhere to have fun and make a name for myself.
Even though you look great, you seem to be in an incredible mental space now.
I am, yeah.
Do you worry that a promoter might look at you and go, man, this guy might be a liability?
Yes, 100%. That's any job. I do think that. And it's unfortunate, but it's also realistic. That's what the track record states. And like I said, you have to build up that trust with everybody.
Right.
Employers, family, friends. So I could see people looking at me and saying, wow, he's doing great. But, you know, he hasn't quite proven himself yet, or there is a liability
or
there.
They're going, how much longer until he relapses?
Yes. And honestly, it's crazy you say that, but that is true. People do say that. The thing is...
And I mean that with great respect.
No, 100%. But for the first time in my life, I'm not lying. I'm not living the part. I'm not wearing that mask.
Yeah.
I know that I'm going to be all right.
Yeah.
And all I have to do is do the things that I do every single day to stay sober, and I'm going to stay sober.
Yeah.
And those things are things I'm going to do every single day.
Yeah.
I have too much life to live, too much stuff to experience, and, too many people to bond with than to not stay sober every day. But someone might think that, and, it's unfortunate, but it is the reality of the situation.
Sure.
Yeah.
If we take this way back, who was William as a kid?
William as a kid?
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, super nervous, neurotic, always worried like the worst was going to happen.
Were you a big kid?
I was big, but then I was a late bloomer. So I was the biggest, or one of the biggest people in my class. And then when we got to high school and everybody started sprouting up, I was still left behind. So for a while there, I was 5'8" my sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
So I
pretty
got
tall.
It is pretty tall, but compared to where I'm at now. But yeah, I've always kind of been, or was, because I do feel like I'm in a different place now for the first time in 33 years. Super neurotic, worried about everything, worried what people think about me, worried about this going wrong, worried about that. And now it's, I really don't worry about that stuff. That just takes so much energy out of me and puts such a toll on my mental health that, recovery has just helped me, let a lot of that go. It just kind of takes a weight and it just comes off your back.
Who did you want to be, or what did you want to be?
A wrestler. I told people, again, the act, I told people I was going to be a doctor because I wanted to be a doctor. I told people that. And I went to college and was pre-med and took the MCAT. But I was lying the whole time to everybody because I wanted to be a pro wrestler, and that's proven the day after I graduated college at Yankee Stadium with NYU. It was in the new Yankee Stadium. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great.
The day after that, I went to Johnny Rod's school and started training.
The day after you graduated?
Yeah, walked into his office.
And then how long after that till you made your debut?
In wrestling?
Yeah.
Man, I might have done like a referee gig here and there.
Big referee.
Yeah, right. But my in-ring debut in terms of a match was probably the easiest match ever put together. But maybe a few months later, because Johnny Rod saw something in me, And he thought maybe I had potential, and I guess he was right. But he put me in a match pretty quickly.
Well, you're 7 feet tall. And you can't teach that.
That's right. Can't teach that.
You cannot teach that.
Yeah.
So being a big guy after you did bloom, did you look up to some of the other big men in wrestling?
Yeah.
Like who?
Still do. Undertaker, Kevin Nash, who I got to talk to yesterday, and always try to pick his brain. And, JBL, man, that's one that I always talk people don't talk about that much, but he was huge inspiration on me, especially when I got to FCW. His work is just so solid. JBL is another guy, especially because he's fleet of foot, man. He can move.
Can.
So for a big dude, he can move, and I feel like that's kind of what I thought about myself at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what were some of your favorite matches growing up?
Oh man, Austin and Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13 at Rosemont Horizon. That's
Great match.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and think of some obscure ones. WrestleMania 10, Owen and Bret. Let's see. I'm trying to think of. I want to think of. Dude, you know what match this is when I was in high school. Rey Mysterio and Kurt Angle opening up SummerSlam 2002. I used to always watch that match.
That's a great match.
That's how you start a fucking pay-per-view, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to go watch that now.
Dude, that was such an amazing match, man.
Yeah.
There's so many Austin matches, Mick Foley, Undertaker. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood 97. That's amazing. And Undertaker and Bret Hart at SummerSlam that year. That's another one that I feel like isn't talked about enough. That's a classic.
That is man, all these are great matches.
Yeah, man.
So when you're coming into wrestling, most people want to come in and be a single star, which you were.
Yeah.
And then they pair you with Enzo. You guys create lightning in a bottle. But at first, were you like, what are they doing? I don't want to be in a tag team.
So when he came to his tryout in FCW, you know Enzo.
Yeah.
He rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. He could be loud and confident and brash, but he cut a promo on his tryout that was incredible. And I said, I hope they sign him because I want to do something with this guy. Yeah, because at the time I was looking to do more New York kind of character. And I said, I hope they sign this guy. And they ended up signing him. Lo and behold, came into FCW one morning and it says, like, who's going to start in the program the next week. And Eric Arndt was named, and I was like, yes. So when he got there, I immediately kind of buddied up with him. And, from the first time I saw him cut a promo, I was like, I want to do something with that guy.
Did he want to do something with you?
I think so.
Okay.
I think because, we were homies, man.
Because, again, not everybody wants to be in a tag team.
Yeah. Maybe not. I'm sure as a kid, he didn't think about being in a tag team. Neither did I. But when I saw him, I wanted to be in a tag team with him, and I'd like to think that he wanted to be in a tag team with me.
I mean, again, you guys created lightning in a bottle,
yeah,
and it was like magical,
yeah.
And then in NXT, you were so over.
It was a good time, man.
Yeah,
I think NXT was amazing for us, and I think the fact that we never won the titles worked to our advantage because I think the fans kind of felt like, oh, the people behind the curtain are screwing us and it made them cheer even more.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that we never won really in NXT kind of got us even more over. But they always gave us time to cut promos. The writing team at NXT would always be like, oh, you have 3 minutes to cut a promo before the match. That's all we wanted to. It was like just a little bit of promo time to kind of get our stuff over, and it worked. Big time.
How much of the opening promo that everybody knows, how much was that inspired by New Age Outlaws?
A lot. We loved the New Age Outlaws formula, which was, Road Dogg hits pop, 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 and then Billy Gunn comes in at the end with the suck it. And, that format was like, it worked to perfection for them.
Yeah.
So we were like, and Billy Gunn was one of our coaches, and Road Dogg worked for WWE, and we got a chance to interact with him a lot. But, yeah, the format was, I don't want to say stolen, but almost.
But did they kind of give you their blessing? Like, this is a great idea. Run with it.
Man, I don't know if we ever got their blessing to use the format. Because I don't think at the time we realized that we were, but when I look back at our old stuff, me and Enzo, and then if I watch like a 1998 New Age Outlaws match, I'm like, we kind of did the same exact thing.
That walk into the ring. This guy's this guy. This guy's this guy.
Yeah, and usually it goes. The Road Dogg would get his ass beat, and Billy would come in, just start knocking people's heads off, and me and Enzo did the same thing.
Who actually scripted that famous promo?
Man, I think it came together over the course of so Soft was the first thing that got over it with NXT. That was in a dark segment with John Cena. That it's got to be on the network somewhere, but it was not even for television. It was me, Sandow, Enzo, and Cena. And when we left the building that night, people kept yelling Soft at me and Enzo, who were nobodies at this point. We hadn't even debuted on NXT. We were just guys that were working a dark match at the end of the night because Cena really liked Enzo's promo. People were just yelling Soft at us, and we're like, man, we might have something here.
Yeah.
And then... Man, I can't remember exactly when the other pieces came together, but the Soft we knew was over or going to be over the second we left Full Sail that night. We're like, this is good.
Let's talk about the night when you guys debuted on the main roster.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that pop.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of figured we were going to get a really good reaction because of the NXT crowd, goes to the Raw the night after Mania. They're very well versed in all of WWE's product. And I think a lot of the people that had been with us in NXT knew the reaction we were going to get, and I think some other people really didn't think that we were going to get that big of a reaction.
Yeah.
But me and Enzo knew. We knew like the people that come to Raw the night after WrestleMania are the people that watch NXT.
Yeah.
And they're gonna. I think they thought like it's been long enough. Come on, bring them up. So, and they left it for the end of the show too. So people might have been getting angry at home, like, or in the building, like they're really not going to debut these guys. Are they kidding? They don't have them win. Now they're not going to debut them. So I think it was segment 13, and finally,
wow,
massive pop. It was. If I go back and watch it now, it still gives me goosebumps.
I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah,
man,
it was crazy.
Did you guys think you'd be able to ride that wave of? I mean, the fans were so into you guys, both in NXT and the main roster.
Yeah.
Did you think you'd be able to ride that wave?
I think we were just having fun on the wave. I don't think we ever thought this is going to last, X amount of months or years. We were just like, what's the next town? Let's do it. And we just kept, but the thing was, we worked so hard at our promos because we did, give them the same shtick, as people might want to call it, every night. But the filler, we took a lot of pride in. And we'd get together in catering with our writer, and we would think all week about some clever lines and stuff. And I think that was, we didn't just take that like the New Age Outlaws. There was always filler that was kind of the stuff that was unique to that night.
Yeah.
And we took a lot of pride in those promos. So I don't think we thought it was going to last. We were just like, let's just keep busting our ass and doing these promos, being creative, and we'll see what happens.
So where did the idea for you guys to split up finally come around?
I don't know. I just know like sometime in 2017 when they did the storyline with Enzo getting jumped. Originally, it wasn't supposed to be me, but then I don't know what happened. And then they kind of just went one night. Like the day we got to the building for the turn. Because me and Enzo thought it was either going to be this person or that group. And maybe it was the week before they told us
that it was going to be you.
Yeah, because
like,
we were swerved.
You're like, I guess I'm a heel now.
Yeah, I was kind of cool with it. It's like I really want to be a heel. And Enzo's a great babyface to work with.
Sure.
Because say what you want about his work, but he can take a hell of an ass kicking.
Yeah.
And he makes it look like he's getting crushed out there. So it's like he's going to be great to work with because people are going to feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm his best friend turn on him. So I was down for it, man.
Did you think that at that point you guys would ever be reunited later on? Eventually.
Yeah. Somewhere down the road, I thought, because it was so good. Take some time off. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Not us taking time off, but the act, and bring it back at a certain point in time. And here we go again.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, when Enzo got released, how much did that affect anything that you had going on with your run or your push?
None. I was injured. I was still rehabbing my ACL at that time. So I'd been off TV for months at that point in time. So when he got released, I didn't come back for another 2 months. So it didn't really affect anything with me because the last people saw of me before my injury was me and Enzo were not homies.
Yeah.
So they figured my stomach is grumbling.
Wow, that was so loud we probably heard that.
Dude,
my goodness.
Haven't eaten this signing.
Yeah, you're like coffee for lunch.
Yeah, man. I needed it for the boost. Didn't affect. I don't think that affected me at all because I came back and immediately put me in program with Brian.
Right.
Yeah.
I was surprised when you got let go.
A lot of people were, but
Yeah.
I did think it was justified. I was kind of it was a liability at that point in time.
Sure.
Talk about liabilities before. I was a huge liability, man.
Yeah.
Massive. Like, they didn't know what I was going to do next. So they made the right call, man. Like, of course, in the moment, I was bitter as hell. And
Sure, of course.
But no, it was the right call, man. Like, I wasn't surprised.
At least they did it in person, too.
Yeah, that was cool, man. I don't know what the reason was
It
for that.
could have been a phone call.
Could have been a phone call, but it was a meeting with Vince.
Did they send you right to the airport right after that?
Yeah. So I met with Vince, and it was a really good conversation.
Yeah.
Very productive and very focused on William and not Big Cass.
Right.
And and then they got me a flight home. I drove to the airport from there, and
Wow.
yeah, flight home.
How crazy was the G1 Supercard to be part of?
That was crazy. That was out of control because, man, nobody knew. So I couldn't quite get Enzo to process. I said, there's 8 guys in the match, okay? We're only going to be taking on 2 of them after the match. There's 6 other guys involved, very formidable wrestlers that don't know that this is, happening. We might get our asses handed to us by fucking 8 people at once,
Yeah.
And, we'll be all right, man. As we're walking to the garden, I was like, I don't know, man. This could go horribly wrong. But yeah, that was super nervous. And then when we went out there and did it, it felt amazing while we were out there.
Didn't you guys like sneak in a back door? Like nobody knew,
No, there was, I don't know, 6 people in the world that knew.
including you and Enzo.
Yeah. So we got changed at a friend's office a few blocks nearby, and we walked over to the building, and then we sent a text to person X, and they came down and got us, and they put us in a room, like a small room in the back where nobody could see us, and then it was kind of helter skelter too, because it was like the cue. Make sure you go out then. So we're sitting there with like kind of no supervision. So we had to watch the screen in the room, and then we're like, that's it. And then we went. Yeah.
Were you like positive? Okay, that is it.
Yeah, because I was being neurotic, and I made sure I asked like 100 times. So this. Start walking out of the room towards the arena floor. Yes.
Do you feel like there was legit heat on you guys after that?
I think there was legit heat. I think that there was shock value.
For sure.
The heat, to be honest with you, I think came from just them not knowing the fans. I think a lot of times the fans like to be smartened up and like to think, I knew they were going to do that. But nobody fucking knew. So I think there was resentment from some fans, at least, that were like, they got us. They got us. Because no matter what anyone says now, 20,000 people in that building, and I don't know how many people watching at home, not one person that was watching at that time thought Enzo and Cass are going to hop the guardrail and interfere.
No, of course not.
Right. So,
and then when you guys did do it and they cut away like, this shouldn't be happening, everyone went, what is going on?
It was a brilliant mind behind that. I'm not going to say who, but man, brilliant.
Yeah. None of the boys were okay with this?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think we did get a lot of heat with the boys, but I do think that the heat kind of transferred off of us towards, people in charge, because I think Tama Tonga might have done an interview recently where he was like, they were doing what they were told, man. Like, I can't put heat on them. Like, maybe we do still have heat for that, but he's right. Like, we were just doing what we were told to do.
I think Tama Tonga and Enzo, because they've talked so much at each other, they should probably have a match.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where could we book it?
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, everyone would want to see that match.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Like, people legitimately think they don't like each other, so let's make it happen.
Do they? I don't know. Do they? Yeah, all right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, Tama Tonga is hard to read.
Yeah, he is hard to read.
He's a really nice guy, but at the same time, like when he's in the ring.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He makes you think what he's doing is he believes it. I think that's the intangible for wrestling is when a performer can make the people watching believe that they believe what they're doing is real.
That was 2 years ago, almost to the day.
April 6th of 2019.
Almost to the day.
Almost to the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lots happened for you in those 2 years.
Oh, ups and downs, mostly downs, man. But
you're way up.
Well, now I'm on the rise, man.
No,
yeah.
you're way up.
Yeah.
You are.
I'm all the way up.
Are you looking to take more bookings? Is that the plan right now? So you're open for bookings?
Taking as many as possible, yeah.
So if people want to book you, how do they do that?
Go to my Twitter page, and there's an email there for my really, really good friend, Doug Lawson. It says 4 bookings. Email him.
Okay.
Yeah, and he handles everything. He knows all my dates. So, like, I've had people here ask me, are you free? I'm like, you have to talk to Doug because I gave him the green light. I gave him dates. I said, this is a wedding. This is the rehearsal, whatever. I said, anything else, book it up.
Yeah.
And he said, you want me to just book anything that sounds good? I said, yeah. So there's things that I don't even know what days I'm working. I just told him as much as possible.
That's really good.
Yeah, I want to get out there and
you
work
were
as much as
saying to me
possible.
yesterday, you're in even better shape than those photos that we saw.
Yeah, because after that, I just continued on the path I was on. So it just kept getting leaner and stronger, and I think I'm in way better shape than I was in those pictures.
So what's a day look like for you right now, eating and with workouts?
So I wake up, first thing I'll do is coffee, empty stomach, immediately do cardio, which is usually interval training, which is incline sprints, or usually incline sprints or the row machine is my cardio. I'll do that for a half hour, come back, shower, relax, maybe eat a little something. And then later on in the day, handle errands and stuff like that and hang out and handle work stuff and phone calls.
Handle the dogs.
Handle the dogs. Bam Bam's a lot of work, man. And then later in the day, go to the gym, which is usually I go to MI40 here in Tampa, which is a bodybuilding gym owned by Ben Pekulski. He's, really great dude. He owns the gym. So
what kind of split are you on in terms of body parts and what you're hitting every day or every week?
Man, so I only do legs once a week, especially because I'm working on weekends, and I don't want to mess my knees up. And I'm doing sprints, so once a week I'll lift legs.
Okay.
And then every other day will be a push or a pull day. And lately, because I want to have another show in Texas coming up in 2 weeks from today, I want to look like bulked, but really kind of, I don't know, I have a look that I'm going for. And I know that when I do 10 by 10, like German volume training for a few weeks, I look like that. So I'm doing 10 by 10 on every exercise now, which is only like 2 exercises a day.
10 sets, 10 reps?
10 sets, 10 reps. So I'll do like 10 sets, 10 reps of bench, and then 10 sets, 10 reps of incline dumbbell bench.
And that's chest.
And then I leave. No, that's push. That's the whole push day. After that, I'm gassed.
Well, I would imagine that's a lot.
And then back's a different thing. But every time I work out, I'll do a different exercise for the push or the pull. Man. 10 by 10. So 20. Yeah, I'm doing 20 by 10 is my workout pretty much right now.
You've got this great shirt that you're selling now.
It
says straight out of step 12.
That's right.
I love it.
Yeah.
And the proceeds are going to a great cause.
The Heron Project. So it's a nonprofit organization specializing in recovery from addiction, and they award scholarships for rehab, because rehab's super expensive. Insurance sometimes doesn't want to cover it. Sober living, coaches through the recovery process. And it's founded by Chris Heron. He had the 30 for 30 Unguarded about him on ESPN. And I was looking for a very good nonprofit that specializes in the addiction field. And every time I watch that guy's 30 for 30, it just gets me super emotional. And I saw that what he was doing, and it was exactly what I want, because I can't tell you how many times when I was in rehab or around people from recovery where someone can't go an extra month in sober living because insurance won't handle it, or because they don't have enough money. And in that 30 days extra, that might be when something clicks for them. Yeah. And it's unfortunate because they can't be there. So they award scholarships to people to do that and to go back to rehab or go into rehab the first time. It's amazing, amazing organization.
So if someone wants to grab one of these shirts, where can they find it?
Collarandelbowbrand.com. You buy them there.
I was wearing one earlier. Oh,
I am
man.
right
Yeah,
now.
there it is.
Yeah, that website will have the Caz XL shirt, which is just straight out of Step 12.
Yeah.
And all the proceeds go to the Heron Project.
I'm just your feet are gigantic, by the way.
Yeah,
they're not on camera here. How big are your feet?
Size 16.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, but not to mention, these are great kicks.
You should probably just kick your foot up there for a second. See that? There it is. Yeah.
Varsity Carolina Blue 3s. Oh, man.
Matches your shirt.
Yeah. I did that on purpose. I got some sort of style, you know.
You got some style.
A little bit.
Come on.
Yeah,
You
and
got
the
some
hat
style.
matches too, so.
Top to bottom here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did we cover everything?
Man, how are you?
This is not about me.
Yeah. Man, we covered everything.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing great, man.
You are doing
Yeah,
great.
I'll talk forever, but yeah, we covered everything.
I'm really proud of you, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
And I know everybody is really proud of you.
Appreciate that. And you know what's a new feeling, which is great, is I could say that about myself because for a long time I'd say I was proud of myself, and I didn't know what the hell that even meant. It's just when I debuted, I'm really proud of myself. I don't know what that means until past year, what being proud of yourself means. So
Yeah.
thank you very much.
I end every interview talking about gratitude because gratitude is such a huge thing.
Massive.
I say if you can be grateful, you can live a great life. So what are 3 things in your life that you're grateful for right now?
My girlfriend Lexy, Tampa Bay, and the wrestling business.
There it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man.
This is great.
Yeah, it was. Really appreciate it. It was awesome.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, man.